Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. I made it in time. I am so happy right now. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Because it's a momentous occasion. Yo, peoples, Qushu 92 here with a very special reaction today because today's my birthday. It's good to see you, Cohagen. It's good to see you, Ozzy, who says that he can't be here because, he's going to the rodeo carnival. It's good to see Ozzy. It's good to see Cohagen. Ogata-san, thank you for the birthday wishes. I am a very happy 33-year-old. I know my face doesn't look it because my family has those slow aging genes. I probably won't physically look like I'm in my 30s until I hit my 60s. So I am happy today. CD's good to see you. Now, I'm gonna need you to let everyone else know when I start reacting how things work as far as like if they're saying hi, just let them know that I'm looking at the chapter first and then I'll look at chat later. It's my birthday and a brand new chapter of One Piece, which doesn't happen very often. To get a One Piece chapter the same day as my birthday? We already had Roger's base birthday last week. And he got a chapter then, or was it the week before last? I want to say it was the week before last. The last time we got a One Piece chapter, it was Roger's base's birthday. Now it's mine! So I can't wait to see what this new chapter holds for us all. Let's begin with chapter 1143. And it doesn't appear that we're going on break. And we get like a big old cover spread of the Straw Hats doing fly fish racing. We got Luffy and Zoro neck and neck with each other. Chopper's riding with Zoro. Nami's right behind Luffy. We got Sanji riding, still awestruck and, love struck with both Robin and Nami. Frankie's in the background. Robin's riding on a fish in the back with Brook right behind her. And Jinbei, he doesn't need a flying fish. He's a fish man. He doesn't need anything. He's just swimming. Don't think I don't notice him. He's underwater and he's just swimming along with everybody else. Based on a reader request, a Straw Hat Crew car chase by what is it? Negizile? Yeah, Negizile. But yeah. Chapter 1143, Holy Nights. Now, last thing that happened was the children were being led away by the powers of Killingham and possibly Somers as well. I was thinking in my head that it was Killingham who was doing everything, making the nightmares of the children real, but also inducing them to sleep. Part of me is thinking, like you guys were saying, probably it was a combination of both Killingham and Somers using their own abilities together in tandem in order to lead the children away and also delay the other giants, because one power is being used to force them to sleep, I'm guessing. The other is being used to turn all of the children's nightmares, or whatever they find scary, into real physical things that tower over the giants. They're even bigger than oars, and my family's calling in, probably asking me what I want to eat. It's a good thing I haven't read anything in this chapter just yet. Give me a second. All right, cool. Good thing I was only going through the recap. But now the children are being led away. Saul and the other principal And all the other teachers are trying to figure out what's going on with the children because they're all sleepwalking, but they've been told not to touch the children. And another thing is how Loki is moderately unchained, and he's using his hammer Ragnir to basically set a portion of Elbaf on fire by causing lightning to strike it. So we got that whole matter with Luffy and his people in front of Loki. And we got Chopper and Robin and Saul having to do with the children over at the Walrus School. So let's see what happens in chapter 1143, Holy Knights. And Saul is running up. Saul is running up next to the kids while some of their nightmares are making their way over into the school. Like one kid said they were afraid of thunderclouds, another said they were afraid of their mom, and these manifestations are just just ebbing over towards the school itself. Hey, wait, y'all! Ilva, Mag, wronged you. Wow, they're really sleepwalking. And he's trying to keep up with the kids as well. What's this white cloth? Where are y'all going? And then Robin screams out because both Chopper and Robin are in Saul's beard. Be careful, Saul. Remember, the other teacher said not to touch the children.
And he was all bloody.
I know he did, but I don't see nothing wrong with them, and it's dangerous for them to keep walking like this. And then it cuts to Saul, who tries to touch one of the kids, and all of a sudden, thorns, like invisible thorns, shoot out and immediately start piercing through Saul's hand. Come on, let's get back to the school. Yow!
What was that, Saul? What happened? Did something stab you?
So this is either another facet of Killingham's power, or maybe it is Salmer's power to keep. This is how the other teacher got bloodied. This mass of thorns, like this halo of thorns that is surrounding the children. I want to say it's like moderately invisible, or maybe it's just entirely invisible, and we're just seeing like where it actually is, or it's just invisible thorns are around all of these children. You try to touch them, and they immediately poke and skewer your hand. Like one just goes straight through Saul's, just completely clean through his hand. And then we get Anji on the transponder.
This is the Walrus School. All the children have suddenly fallen asleep. And out of those, 9 of them have started walking. We don't know where they're going.
And it shows all the rest of the children. Then we get back to the Western Village as everyone has stopped partying and they're listening in. Dory, Broggy, everybody else.
It's not clear why or how this is happening.
The kids at the school? My son's there!
There's also been a surge of strange monsters from the forest.
Monsters? Are the children safe?
The children are traveling down Branch Route 8 at the moment.
Transponder Pillbug only works in Elbaf, and these transponders Pillbugs are basically the same height as Brook, and Brook is like, what, 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall? These are pretty much the largest transponder snails that I have ever seen.
And there's a fire too?
And this is Nami.
And there's a fire too? What's with all this sudden danger?
Did something happen back at that school? And this is Jinbei saying this. Then we get back to the fire that had broken out across Elbaf.
Did you say Branch 8?
It's not looking good over there. And then we get Jarl, who's drunk, going, oh no, that's the school my granddaughter Ylva goes. And he's saying, no, that's the school where my granddaughter's granddaughter Ylva goes. Okay, so Ylva is related to Chief Jarl then.
How many generations?
How many generations is that?
I think you've all had enough to drink now!
Yeah, you should. Get it together. And this is Brook, who's drunk, saying you should get it together. And then we get a Svar flying through the air. Yes, that's quick work! The firefighting Svar is on the case! You've got this, firefighters! We're counting on you! And while they're flying, one giant goes, huh? What's that? And then something starts to something starts to open up the branches, and it's a giant skeleton that just swats the spar out of the air, shocking all the giants. So we can clearly say that these manifestations are real, they're physical, and they can interact with the physical world. Because it just knocked the spar out of the air. And they all scream, "What?" And then we get Somers. Who's going, "Yeah, you see how shocked those giants were when they got stabbed by the thorns? It's just like the famous saying, every love have its thorns. Every love has its thorns." And then it cuts to basically these holy knights just sitting at a table eating. Gunko, Somers, and Killingham.
Never heard of it.
Ah, you're so apathetic, Gunko, you know that? Love is the passion to reach out and squeeze someone tight, even as you see the thorns up close. The best part of this game is when it's parents and children.
And then cuts to Killingham going, "Oh no, this is still Somers, because I think Killingham is moderately asleep."
Parents hug their kids tight, thorns and all, and then the kids scream and wail when they see their worst nightmare, Mommy and Daddy dying in agony. There's real emotion in killing.
And we see Somers stick his hand up, and we see thorns all around it. Saint Somers thorn fruit, making him a thorn man. So Somers is not the one inducing the kids to sleep then. He's just created thorn barriers around the children to keep anyone from stopping them from kidnapping them. The thorn fruit. The fact that these thorns were pretty much invisible until someone tried to touch them, that's unnatural. That's unnatural. Even for a devil fruit. Even for a paramecia type.
Death by love. Isn't that just exciting?
And Gunko is quiet. And then Somers, taken aback by Gunko not actively acknowledging him, goes,
"No interest! The woman who never knew love!"
And then we get Killingham. "Which route did you choose, Gunko?"
There was a thick branch that ran down the middle.
And it's showing it on the map. And she's eating. Mind you, Gunko's face is bandaged up and she's somehow eating. Unless she's opened up a space where she can eat her food. But she's eating underneath her bandages.
If they walk straight that way, they'll reach the village's sea clouds.
The middle one's good, stands out better. Makes their utter futility all the more apparent.
Somers, I need a bit more salt.
Salt?
And Somers is thinking, and all of a sudden, yep! Let's go! It's confirmed! It's confirmed what Killingham is! Somers goes salt, and he's immediately put to sleep. Saint Killingham, dragon fruit, mythical type, model Keating. We were all right. We looked into this. He's a Keating. Model Keating, dream manifesting man. So, what? Wait, he sticks his hand into Somers' sleep cloud? And he pulls out, Aspach rock salt, gourmet stuff. You can wake up now. This dude, this mythical type devil fruit allows you to take things out of people's dreams and make them real. See, we already just got this example with the monsters created from children's dreams. but the fact that this dude can put people to sleep by giving them, just basically suggesting something to them, they go to sleep, they think of that object, and Killingham can just basically take it out of the dreams. Who here has grown up seeing TV commercials and movies where they have food in the TV and they take it out of the TV and you just thought, I want that, I would love to have that. He can take anything out of a person's dreams and it becomes real. And that includes food. He'll never go hungry. That's crazy. Saint Killingham, dragon fruit, mythical type, model Keating, dream manifesting man. Ooh, Ashpat rock salt, gourmet stuff. You can wake up now.
Yeah? What about the sleep tids you pulled out of those brat dreams?
I can keep them going at the same time, of course. Hey, this salt goes perfectly with the meal.
I'll try some too. Anyway, speaking of the giant's boats in the village, apparently they draw rainbows in the sky with those painter rocks.
And, oh wait, no, Gunko is the one saying, I'll try some too. She tries some salt with her meal, and her face beams and lights up.
It's delicious. Real unique culture they've got.
So, all we have to do is take one of those to return to the Holy Land.
We've basically won already. It's too easy. This is a baby game for babies.
I'm sorry, I'm yelling so much I'm spitting.
I'm very full now. And all this in 0 calories?
Well, it's dream food, so 0 energy too.
Don't worry, Salmers. There will be trouble. I saw a pirate ship moored on the sea clouds of the village. The Emperor of the Sea Straw Hat Luffy is here.
Huh? Wait.
Oh, wait, and then and then Salmers goes, huh?
Wait, the kids are walking right towards the fire.
See? You didn't expect this. Not to worry. If they die, we can send more.
They're making the children walk towards the fire that Loki started, and they don't care if they die. If they die, we'll just take more kids. We're really gonna have to go over this chapter here in a minute. What a chapter! The day of my birthday, we get the reveal of Killingham's devil fruit and Somers, a thorn man and a Keating that can influence dreams.
See,
you didn't expect this. Not to worry. If they die, we can send more.
Darn you, Loki!
Oh wait, we cut back to the underworld.
Darn you, Loki!
Go on,
Harudin! Try and stop me! Doga! But no, you can't possibly stop me. You can't even live Ragnir.
And then we get Gerd.
I just hope no one gets hurt in the sun world.
They will. The flames will only spread further, so make your choice. Will you undo the last cuff and free me?
And mind you, Loki is still breathing heavily. And then it cuts to Sanji going,
who's this enormous giant anyway?
He was really hurt, really badly injured, so I wanted to help him.
Or will you all choose death? I'll only keep taking the lives of those weaklings in the sun world if you don't answer me!
And then Harudin steps up.
Wait! All right.
And then Loki is grinning. And then Zoro pops up and goes, don't get suckered in, Harudin.
Roronoa Zoro!
I guess I gotta do it. If he can move, I'll stop him. That was the deal.
Wait, Straw Hat! He'll electrocute you if you get too close. Very well, then. I hear your answer.
Stop this, Loki! If you hit the children, there's no turning back!
Make sure you go easy on him, Luffy, or his wounds will get worse.
Gum!
Darn it. I've lost this one.
Arm balloon! And Luffy's about to hit him, and then Harudin goes, huh? And Loki just collapses in front of everyone before Luffy can actually hit him. So he was just running on adrenaline, and he just collapses immediately. He really was at death's door already.
He was summoning all the strength he had left on a gamble!
If his bluff had worked, he would have escaped so that he could collapse somewhere in secret.
I just can't believe that working based
on the amount of blood he's lost.
It's up to you whether to heal him or let him die, but...
I had business with Loki too, but it had to wait when I saw how bloody he was.
And then we get Roto.
It is true that whoever attempted to kill Loki, it is a separate incident from the matter of his own crimes. And I think I might know who it was.
And Roto was thinking about who it might have been. It is true that whoever attempted to kill Loki, it is a separate incident from the matter of his own crimes.
And I think I might know who it was.
And then Luffy speaks up.
Please, Harudin, help him out a little. I don't want to let him die, no matter who he is.
And then Harudin is silent. And then it cuts to Gerd with multiple IVs.
Until he's fully healed? It'll probably take months. If you really want to see him recover, you shouldn't leave him in a place like this. But if he's taken to the village, it'll only lead to more calls for execution. They'll kill him.
They hate him that much?
He's an irredeemable scumbag.
These horns turned out to be real, huh?
They're a holdover of his ancient blood.
And they get the helmet off of Loki, and those are actually, they're not part of his helmet. He's got giant blood in him. He has horns. He's got ancient giant blood in him. That's a part of his face. I thought it was part of his helmet because so many times we see depictions of Loki with a horned helmet, but these are actually a part of him.
They're a holdover for his ancient giant blood, just like his father Harold.
And then it cuts to Harold when he was talking to a young Loki and a young Harudin. And Harudin is thinking back. We get a flashback of King Harold.
You are my sons, and I love you both. I want you two to work together to support Elbaf after I'm gone.
And then it cuts to Loki when he was apparently bullying Harudin.
I can't believe this tiny weakling is supposed to be my big brother. You're just a bastard. You're not my father's legitimate son. Hear that, Harudin? Your mother had filthy blood in her veins.
Oh, he's embracing that Draco Malfoy mentality, that Lucius Malfoy mentality. Okay, can't have no mugbloods around. We can only be pure-blooded witches and warlocks here. But Harudin is holding his axe. While Loki is still unconscious. And they're trying... Oh, Harudin was preparing to cut his head off! And we get everyone trying to stop him.
Oh, wait! Don't lose control, Harudin!
I've never forgiven him for what he did. He insulted my mother and killed my father.
And then it cuts to Loki.
Go on. Do it, you sad little berserker. Or perhaps, instead of indulging in your petty personal drama, take a look at the woods around us. They all say I went and killed Dad with pure murder in my heart. But you don't believe that, do you?
Is Loki saying that he actually didn't kill King Harold? Was this a lie? We were told that he killed King Harold.
They all say I went and killed Dad with pure murder in my heart. But you don't believe that, do you?
And Harudin is stopping. Is Loki implying that the stories that have been told about him have been lies? The god of mischief? Everyone was actually lying on the god of mischief, Loki, the entire time? And that's the end of the chapter. We're not going on break. Now I see chat. Let me see. Ravi, yo, good to see you. Nah, he should have did what Cedric the Entertainer did. He should have slid through the water with his bare feet. He did that? I don't remember that. I think he did that on Whole Cake Island. You hung up on them. No, I didn't hang up on him. I didn't answer quick enough. He said, oh, no. He actually swiped up. Oh, no. I never accidentally hang up on my own family. It's just that I didn't do it in enough time because of, the delay of hitting mute, and I didn't want anything to be cut off. So they did a combination thorn and some sleep power working together. Yeah, a plant paramecia. The last time we had a plant paramecia type devil fruit that wasn't a Logia was, what is it? Eins, and Beans was the girl from One Piece Film Z. With the Mosa fruit. Mosa. You know him. That's the last time we had like a plant-based devil fruit. Then again, no. I'm wrong. I am so wrong because not one, that's non-canon, and two, Mansherry. I completely forgot about Mansherry. I'm saying that before someone corrects me. But yeah, let me see. Plant paramecia, now counterpart to that, he'll never go hungry. That depends if he can pull his own dreams out, because if so, then yes, but he's on his own with no food, then he might starve to death. So here's my thing. He also said that there's 0 calories because it's basically not really real food. I mean, it's food you can bring out of dreams, but it doesn't have the substance of actual food. It's dream food. So food that basically only exists in your dreams, it's basically devoid of real substance. Even though it can be brought into the physical plane, it is devoid of what makes food food. Well, he still could have killed him, just not with pure anger. True, but here's the thing, Saw. Also, hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to my birthday stream. But you got to think about all these stories that have been painting Loki as this mad person that just wants to see the utter destruction of Elbaf. What if the story isn't as cut and dry as we think? Because we don't know what happened during that fight between Loki and King Harold. What preceded that? What was the reasoning behind that? We don't know what happened. Gunko channeling her in an Ivan Drago. If they die, they die. Yeah, but yeah, this is a very good chapter. Ooh, what a wonderful chapter for my birthday. It was really good. Remember back in 1140, Solmers asks Jamrock if he came to visit Harold's grave? A lot of questions there. We talked about this. This is something we have brought up before about Harold not being completely like what he's described to be like. Yes, we did indeed talk about this. This was a good chapter. Now, give me a sec, because wait, when is the last day? The last day of March is going to be on Monday. So I'm going to be doing a Kaiju number 8 and a One Piece Reflections that same day. So I'll be busy. Let me pull up this chapter and see the details and go through the long summary. Use my professional narrator voice. Because we need to go over this. Killingham has a mythical type devil. We all knew he was mythical, but now, you know what this means? This makes the first dragon fruit we see that's actually awakened. Because everyone else has like hybrid forms. All the previous dragon fruits we've witnessed have belonged to the Tobiropo, and all of them are not awakened. They just have their animal states or maybe their hybrid states, and that's it. But we have never seen a dragon fruit awakened. And we can't count Kaido because he's technically not a dragon fruit user. He's a fish fruit user. Hold on, let me get chat back over here. Oh, happy birthday, true, that's fair. Yeah. But now it just calls into question whether or not the stories that the Giants have been telling us of Loki are just as, ooh, this is a nice long summary. Good. Let me get it over here. I'm not going to put it up on here because it's going to cause a screen to be all fidgety. Let's see. Saul runs over to the sleepwalking children and tries to wake them up as Robin warns him to be careful, reminding him that Wolf warned him not to touch the children. Also a dragon fruit that isn't a dinosaur. It's literally a mythological Chinese creature. One of basically high reverence when you think about it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, when we get to Killingham's devil fruit. Reminding him that Wolf warned him not to touch the children. Saul says he doesn't see anything wrong with them and tries to grab Ylva, but when he reaches out to her, he gets stabbed by invisible thorns surrounding her. Anji contacts the partying giants and informs them about the bizarre situation going on, and that the sleepwalking children are following Branch Route 8, which is where the fire Loki started literally making these children walk to their potential deaths into this fire. With Gunko just merely saying, if they die, we'll just get more. This is the mentality of the Holy Knights. Can you imagine playing as the Holy Knights in a video game? Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. The firefighting Sfar immediately mobilizes to stop the fire, but on their way, they get attacked by one of the nightmares, knocking them out of the sky to everyone's shock. Back with the gods' knights, who are enjoying a meal while watching the chaos, Somers laughs at how shocked the giants were when they got stabbed by the invisible thorns he created, as he has eaten the Iba Iba no Mi, which allows him to generate them. Iba Iba no Mi. Ooh, that's got a nice ring to it.
I'm Saint Somers. Saint Shepherd Somers, Shepherd Somers, Shepherd Saint Somers. And I'm the user of the Iba Iba no Mi.
Somers describes it as a representation of the phrase, even love has its thorns, but Gunko reacts with indifference. Somers explains to Gunko that love is what will draw in the people who care about someone despite the thorns surrounding them. Thank you, Skip, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Somers explains to Gunko, I gotta read the whole sentence. Somers explains to Gunko that love is what will draw in the people who care about someone despite the thorns surrounding them. And the best part about this game for him is imagining the parents attempting to hug their children only to be stabbed by his thorns, and the children breaking down in tears over watching their parents scream in agony. We all knew that every single celestial dragon that exists in Marijwa, barring Mjasgard, who apparently with his death has pretty much eliminated the only person with sanity in the in Marijwa, every single one of them are devoid of any feelings of remorse or anything because they see themselves as gods. But Somers really shows just how depraved the Holy Knights are, like, immediately. Mind you, we don't immediately see it with Killingham, and we don't immediately see it with Gunko, even though we've seen vestiges of it. Somers is literally enjoying this game of watching children cry as they watch their parents scream in agony from being stabbed by his own thorns surrounding them. He actually likes to see the torment caused by his own devil fruit powers towards children and their parents. Let's see. Attempting to hug their children only to be stabbed by his thorns, and the children breaking down in tears over watching their parents scream in agony. Gunko, however, still shows no interest to Somers' chagrin. Killingham asks Gunko which route she picked, and she explains she picked the one that would lead straight to the village's sea clouds, with Somers adding that it stands out well enough that the giants can see their futility in trying to stop them. So this route was chosen to make sure the giants see that they can't touch their own children as they're being led away and kidnapped in front of their very eyes. So this is playing on multiple psychological moments towards the giants and parents of all these children. Let's not only surround these children in thorns so that their parents can't even touch them, let's lead them out in the front of the giants so that the giants, no matter what they do, they won't be able to do anything. They won't be able to touch their children and remove them, and they'll just have to watch as all of their children are led away straight into the fire to potentially die and kidnap the giants. and to potentially die, or them, be led in a different way so that the giants will, become subservient to them. I know I'm dragging it out, but this is twisted, okay? This is just as twisted as Saturn saying, let me infect this woman with a disease just to see what happens. Oh, she's pregnant with a child? Well, she's trash. Let's toss her out of Marigeois and leave her to die with the sapphire scales. And also, the sapphire scales transfer over to the baby as well. Let me experiment on a baby and see if we can take the extract of a devil fruit and see if it can induce powers within this child. Interesting. Cast them down to the world below. They say there's not much love that is stronger than one between a parent and child. And it's true. It is true. The love between a parent and child, especially one where the child the parent definitely cares for their child. There is no greater love than that, other than no greater love than that of a person who would lay down their life for a friend. That's what the Bible says. But that's up there. Two of them. The love of a person who is willing to lay down their life for those who care about them, care about their friends, and the love of a parent towards their child. This is playing on this is a psychological horror for the giants, because their children are being taken away from them, and there's nothing they can physically do. But let me get back to this. Killingham asked Gunko which route she picked, and she explained she picked the one that would lead straight to the village's sea clouds, with Somers adding that it stands out well enough that the giants can see their futility in trying to stop them. Killingham then tells Somers he needs more salt, causing him to imagine it. Killingham then lulls Somers to sleep and extracts the salt from his dream, as he had eaten the Ryu no Mi Marukirin, which allows him not only to transform into the mythical being, but manifest people's dreams as well, explaining the monsters that suddenly appeared. Somers then wakes up and asks about the sleeptids he extracted from the kids' minds. Sleeptids. I just put it together. Sleeptids. Cryptids. So these are cryptids from people's dreams. Sleeptids. That's what it is. These are cryptids created from people's dreams. Their nightmares have been turned into cryptids that can manifest in the actual world. Sleeptids. Cryptids from sleep. Which allows him to not only transform into the mythical being, but manifest people's dreams as well, explaining the monsters that suddenly appeared. Somers then wakes up and asks about the sleeptids he extracted from the kids' minds, and Killingham explains he can do both at the same time. Not only can he, we don't know if this is because he has awakened his devil fruit, that he can have two different facets of this power running at the same time, manifesting these sleeptids from children's dreams, but also keeping them asleep. I would wager. It annoys me that the name for them is so good. Sleeptids? Yeah. But yeah, I want to wager that his awakened abilities is him being able to run both of these two different parts of his power at the exact same time. Manifesting monsters from people's dreams, but also keeping them asleep so that the manifestations still keep going. I want to assume. Gunko then says all they need to do is take one of the giants' boats back to Marigeois, and their mission will be complete, causing Somers to complain about how easy this game is. Gunko tells Somers that trouble will definitely brew, since the Straw Hats are in Elbaf too, but the three then notice the kids heading towards the fire, though they decide if they burn to death, they can just find more children. Every single one of them. Every single one of these holy knights needs to get beaten within an inch of their lives. Gunko too. I don't care. You don't care about the lives of children? You don't care if they just willingly walk into fire and burn to death? These are kids. Children. Every single one of them needs to get beat. If Gunko doesn't get beaten by Robin, then Gunko needs to be beaten by Gerd. Or literally any other woman that's there. Ooh, Ripley. Let it be the mountain woman, the giant woman. Let it be Ripley who gets Gunko. In the underworld, Loki tells Harudin he can't possibly stop him since he can't lift Ragnir himself, because Ragnir literally dwarfs Harudin. The weapon of Loki is bigger than Harudin. And he once again orders the last cuff to be undone before he kills all of the weaklings in the Sun World. Harudin agrees to stand down, but Zoro warns him not to as Luffy prepares to attack Loki, knocking him down with a rather weak attack due to his injuries. Okay, so Luffy actually did knock down Loki, but it was a really weak attack. That explains when he did Arm Balloon, he didn't use armament. So it was his weakest punch he could use against Loki, and it knocked him over. Okay, so I thought Loki collapsed. I thought he was trying to feign that he was fine, but he collapsed. Okay. But Luffy warns him not to, as I told last stream that those monsters are of children who are asleep, not of those who are awake. And now we know that it is Killingham who's doing this with his awakened Keating powers. And it's not Somers who's inducing the sleep, but it's also Killingham as well, because Somers is the Thorn man. As Luffy prepares to attack Loki, knocking him down with a rather weak attack due to his injuries. After Loki collapses, Luffy and Zoro climb his body as the latter figures Loki was bluffing the entire time, just to find out where he could collapse safely in secret. As Rhodes suspects who it was that attacked Loki, Luffy begs Harudin to not let Loki die regardless of what he has done. Gerd starts treating Loki's wounds and says it will take a few months until he is fully healed. She knows that if he is to make a full recovery, he can't stay in the underworld, but she also knows the people of the Sun World will kill him if he is taken there. Luffy is surprised to see that the horns on Loki's head are real, which they say is a remnant of his ancient giant blood that he inherited from Harold. Saying that makes Harudin think back to his childhood and how Harold called both him and Loki his sons, and how he hopes they work together to support Elbaf after he dies. Unfortunately, Loki looked down on Harudin for being weak despite being older than him, and insulted him and his mixed heritage. This causes Harudin to draw his axe and attempt to kill Loki himself for his parents, but Loki tells him to either get over it or stop wallowing in his personal drama and see the situation for what it is. At that point, Loki asks Harudin if he truly believes he killed their father purposefully, like everyone says he did. And that's where the chapter ends. There's currently no chapter notes yet because it hasn't been added, but we learned a lot of things. Saint Somers is a user of the Thorn fruit, which means that he not only is he a plant paramecia type user, but they can also be invisible thorns as well. And Killingham is a user of the Ryuryu no Mi model Keating, which makes him a dream manifesting man, which is capable of manifesting anyone's dreams as real, and that includes food, but also inducing people to sleep as well. Because he did that to Somers, which means that despite Somers' strength as a holy knight, he's not immune to the sleeping hypnotic effects of Killingham's Ryuryu no Mi Keating. I'm just going to say Keating fruit. Because saying Ryuryu no Mi model Keating would just be way too long. That's like saying Hito no Mi model Nika. Just say Nika fruit. And now Loki collapses, is being treated by Gerd. And now he's putting into our heads, okay, so do you truly believe that I killed our father out of pure hatred like everyone says I am? Even you don't honestly believe that for yourself. Wait, hear me out. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji get put to sleep, and it's Usopp that makes the save with the classic hot swordswoman with meat line. But that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Usopp would have to be nearby Killingham for that to actually work. With that one just being one of many Usopp clutch moments this arc, just an idea, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. But here we are, and this isn't a chapter we go on break from. So we're getting another one on Sunday. So you know what? I'm gonna pull this up on my page. The image may skip just a little bit. Rimo Shifu Killingham. Let me go over to his devil fruit. Ryuryu no Mi model Keating, because I'm pretty sure someone's been putting notes into that as well. Yes. Mythological Zoan-type devil fruit that grants the power to transform into a Kidding and half-Kidding hybrid, which can put others to sleep and materialize their dreams, making the user a dream manifesting human. Eaten by Remo Shifu Killingham. So let's see. Kidding is the Japanese name of the Kidding, a chimeric beast from Chinese mythology with dragon-like features. Additionally, Kidding doubles as a modern-day Japanese word for giraffe, based on the long-standing identification of Kiddings with giraffes dating back to Ming-era China. The same etymology is reflected in the name of another Zoan fruit, the Ushi Ushi no Mi model giraffe. Strengths and weaknesses. This fruit grants the power to become a Kidding and a human-Kidding hybrid. When assuming their human beast form, the user gains a dramatically elongated neck that, along with their head, seems both draconic and giraffine in appearance. The user gains dark skin contrasted by wild, flaming, light-colored hair that grows atop their head and on the sides of their face, paired with equally flame-like eyebrows, extends down the back of their neck as a mane and covers their chest. The user gains a single backwards horn on their head, 2 ears resembling an undulates, a pair of dragon-like whiskers on each side of their snout, and a bushy flame-like tail. Otherwise, below the neck, the user's hybrid form remains humanoid in shape. On top of the presumed physical power boost, the Kidding transformation confers 2 special abilities: to make others fall asleep and to materialize their dreams into reality. The user can emit beams of concentric rings that put anyone they hit to sleep, and which seems to work even at long range, as seen when Killingham made several students of Elbas Walrus School pass out while being far enough away that his presence wasn't noticed. While the ability user can forcibly reawaken those they make fall asleep at will, it appears difficult for anyone else to wake them up. Once a given target is slumbering, the ability user can give physical form to whatever they dream of, which is ideally done by literally pulling the dreamed of object or being from a cloud that forms above the target's head. So, when it comes to Killingham, his literal power is taking people's thought bubbles and making it real while they're sleeping. Let's see. Killingham has noted that he can do this several times in succession and keep multiple dreams manifested simultaneously, though if this is thanks to his awakening and not is unclear. In addition, the one who is dreaming does not need to remain asleep for whatever manifested dream of theirs to remain conjured. The manifested dreams may range from mundane objects like furniture or food items. That explains the table, because they did not have a table when Solmers teleported in. Which means that someone was put to sleep in their group by Killingham and dreamed up a table and some chairs for them to have chairs, plates, dining silverware, a whole tablecloth. He induced someone, either it was Gunko or Solmers, to dream all of that up. That explains why they're eating so nicely, because all of that wasn't teleported in when Gunko summoned them. Let's see. The manifested dreams may range from mundane objects like furniture or food items to living entities, including nightmarish monsters that are the fears of the dreaming made manifest. Said monsters can be directed to wreak havoc and attack enemies, acting with a degree of autonomy that allows them to fulfill their function even without their creator actively paying attention. This is actually a scary ability. Imagine having this power and you induce an entire army to go to sleep. And they all dream nightmares, and those nightmares become real, and they are set upon the army. And you don't have to be there to watch it all unfold. You can just induce them to go to sleep, draw out their nightmares, and have it just terrorize them, and you can leave. Given their potentially giant size, these monsters can pose a notable threat, especially when several are brought forth at once. Generally, created entities, sorry if I can't see you guys in chat and you're talking, created entities will possess whatever properties they have in the imagination of the dreaming, e.g. the incarnated fears of the Walrus School students resembled illustrations previously made by the children to visualize their fears, and conjured food will taste based on how the dreamer remembers it. It is unknown if those rendered asleep by this power can be woken up through conventional means. Likewise, it is unclear if the ability user can access only the dreams of others or their own at will, and if they can control the contents of someone else's dreams. When Killingham observed that Salt was missing from a dream dinner, he made Shepherd Solmers think of Salt right before putting him to sleep and extracting salt from his dream, suggesting that realizing specific dreams is made easier by first planting an appropriate image in a target's mind. Suggestion. Going by Killingham's words, there may also be a time limit on how long targets can be kept asleep. While summoned dream creatures can be quite dangerous, especially those embodying fears, which may be of gigantic size, they remain susceptible to and can be defeated through physical force. Furthermore, while food derived from dreams may be edible, delicious, and satiating, it will provide no actual sustenance due to its imaginary nature. Otherwise, the ability user suffers from the standard devil fruit weaknesses. And awakening. This Zoan power, like any, can be awakened, whereas the user gains a characteristic ribbon of flaming smoke around their shoulders, which is light in color. So, we have a name for the application of his sleeptids called MMA. The MMA are quasi-living entities spawned from the dreams of those put to sleep by the ability user, which may take the form of gigantic monsters, both bestial and humanoid in shape, that are the fears of the dreaming incarnate. The meaning of MMA is unknown, although based on its reading, the term may be derived from Muma, literally dream demon. Oh, so Freddy Krueger then. Referring to demons that appear in dreams or that prey on the sleeping. Freddy Krueger. In the Viz manga, the monsters are referred to as sleeptids, which may be a pun on cryptids, referring to animals of folklore whose existence is believed in by some, but scientifically unproven. And then it just has a list of all the created MMAs. Jormungandr, Nika, Loki, Fenrir, Ghost, Draugr, A Storm, Nidhogger, and then someone else's mom. Someone's mom, a gigantic bear wearing a helmet, and a giant rooster-like bird. Then we have extra information concerning the fruit as well. Destruct, thank you! Let's see. Happy birthday, bro. What's up? How you doing? Gonna go. Just came in to wish you. Thank you, Destruct. I appreciate it. Let's see. And the food has arrived. Yes, the food has arrived. So I gotta wrap this up. Eat my food and then react to Sakamoto Days because we have a new chapter for Sakamoto. Because the last two chapters we got for Sakamoto Days, peak. They were peak. But let me see. Skip, you say that Yagunko is eating food despite having bandages over her mouth. Exactly. I brought that up. I just brought it up. That she was eating even though she was bandaged up. But going back to the Ryu no Mi, so we have a lot of trivia. So and then I'll say my final pieces, and then I'll eat, and then after I'm done eating, we'll move on to Sakamoto, and then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my birthday. The Kirin pronounced chi. Wow, I have been okay. So the Kirin pronounced Chilin. Wow, you would think I would realize that the Chinese name of it with Q and I would be Qi. It's Qi. So it's the Qilin called Kirin in Japanese, Kirin. In Chinese is Qilin. Is a chimera from Chinese mythology, what has been adopted in the Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean, and Thai folklores. Depicted into having an undulant body paired with a dragon's horned head and scales, it is commonly referred to as Chinese unicorn in Western parlance. This Zoan fruit belonging to the Ryu no Mi line references the Qilin having Chinese dragon-like features, a head surmounted by two horns, antlers, or just one, fangs, scales, a flowing mane, and beard, as well as two whiskers, barbels, appended to its muzzle. Qilins have long-standing association with giraffes in Eastern Asian cultures. In the early 1400s, following Chinese expeditions to East Africa, live giraffes were brought to China and presenting as Qilins to the emperor due to their similarities. This conflation of Qilins with giraffes had a lasting influence and modeling qilings after giraffes, i.e. with long necks, became popular during the Ming era. Even today, the Japanese and Korean renderings of the word qiling, kidding, or gidding, respectively, double as words for giraffe. Killingham's qiling form seems to take primarily after qiling portrayals from the Ming dynasty, given his long neck. The Ushi no Mi model giraffe eaten by Kaku also uses the term kirin as its model designation. This reflects on how Japanese kirin doubles as a term for giraffe, though in the case of Kaku's fruit, the kanji is glossed with giraffe, based on the English word giraffe. Thematically fitting for someone who puts others to sleep, Killingham himself seems to have narcolepsy, though if this is an actual side effect of his fruit ability is unclear. The ringed beam projected with this power to put targets to sleep vaguely resembles Foxy's Noro Noro beam and Boa Hancock's Mero Mero Melo. This is the first Zoan ability where the human's ex-human identifier, Dream Manifesting Human, does not mention the animal that the fruit is based on. This is the first known fruit of the Ryu no Mi series that is not an ancient Zoan. So much information. So much information. I love reading. I love reading up this sort of information. My goodness. We have a dream manipulating mythical Zoan now. A dream manipulating mythical Zoan. And now we have Luffy, who's wanting to take care of Loki. Loki questioning everything we think we know about why King Harold died at his hands. I hope we find out in the next chapter. Overall, this was good. Let me go ahead and bring this to a close before we hit an hour, because this food is nice and hot right now, and I intend to eat all of it before we move on to Sakamoto Days. Let's see, that's right, but she can pull the bandages down and take bite and pull them back up and chew, but Loki seeing everything is... Yeah, Loki being able to still see through his bandages, and he hasn't been able to move the bandages off of his eyes. Him being able to see, it's not even a matter of him having very, very good observation haki, because even Fujitora with his own observation haki, which was some of the best examples of observation we've seen, because he's able to see people just by sensing them and their emotions, but even then he can't actually physically see. So it makes me wonder, are those bandages thick, or are they just like over his eyes, just to partially cover it, so it's hard for him to see, but he can still see through it, like having a burlap sack over your eyes. It's not perfectly thick where you can't see through it, but it's thick enough where it is hard to see through it. We'll have to see. Now, since we're not going on break, I can't wait to see where we go for next Sunday. Are we going to continue with the children being led by Somers and his thorns and Killingham and his sleeping? And sorry if I didn't look at Somers' devil fruit. Actually, you know what? Before we end it, let's check out Somers. Let's just go ahead and check out Somers and his own devil fruit. Just so we can get it knocked out, because I'd be remiss if I didn't look up what this actual devil fruit actually does. Iba no Mi. Paramecia type devil fruit that allows a user to generate and attach invisible thorny vines, which are harmful to touch, around themselves and other people, making the user a thorn human. And the description is short. The Iba no Mi enables the user to generate thorny vines from their body. Once created, said vines can be then bound around any target of the user's choosing, who is further able to perform such action to multiple individuals at once. Once someone attempts to make physical contact with a person wrapped by the vines, they will get harmed by the thorns. Those vines float around the target and are apparently invisible, making it easier for others to fall into the trap and harder for them to figure out the nature of the ability. According to Somers, the more someone shows personal attachment to those affected by the user's powers, the stronger the resulting pain from the thorns will be. Deep enough attachments can even lead to death. Those who are bound by vows. On my birthday, no less. Those who are bound by vines are not granted any extra protection against non-sentient objects like fire, making them just as vulnerable to those dangers as in normal conditions. The fruit has no known weaknesses so far besides the standard ones for devil fruit users. Ooh, this fruit's power appears to be inspired by the old proverb of every rose has its thorn. Somers attempts to cite said proverb to describe his ability, although he fumbles the meaning in order to include a metaphor for love being both rose and thorns. That's going to be dangerous. Let's see. He had them from childhood. Yeah, in this flashback where we see Kid Loki standing over Harudin with a Kanabo that looks eerily similar to Kaido's, even though Kaido had his own Kanabo. Yeah, Kaido had his own Kanabo when he was a kid, so it's not the same. But ever since he was a kid, Loki has had these bandages over his eyes. And during this time, King Harold still had his old ancient giant horns when he was talking to a young Harudin and a young Loki. So many questions. We're just going to have to see in the next chapter. This was a good chapter, ladies and gentlemen, but this is where I'm going to draw it. I said I was going to stop before I hit an hour, and here we are already at an hour. All I can say to everyone is just thank you for stopping by. This was my birthday stream. I'm probably going to name my Sakamoto Day stream a birthday stream as well, just to keep that going. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by and wishing me a happy birthday to be 33 years old. My goodness, where does this time go? Time just flies. Wasn't too long ago when I first started this channel. I believe I was, 22? I think I was 22 years old when I first started this channel. But 33 years. 33 years of living. And I got a whole lot more living left in me before I decide, you know what, God? I'm ready. I'm ready to meet you. But I still got a ton of left in me. And if I got anyone else who's 30 years old, don't say your age. Just know that 30-year-olds, you're not old. Just saying. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your birthday. Thank you. But you're not old if you're in your 30s. That's a fabrication by those who are that are younger than you. But overall, thank you for stopping by on my birthday. I'm just going to chill, eat my food, and then we'll start Sakamoto Days directly after. All I can say to you, my faithful and wonderful peoples, is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!